Channel 7 and 103.7 WTIB present Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton. News, sports, and community information and everything that's going on around town. Now, with Talk of the Town, here's your host, Henry Hinton.
Okay, welcome back. ECU has announced that classes are on a schedule this morning. Did you mention that?
Nope.
That memo came out about 30 minutes ago. So ECU, if you work at ECU and you're kind of lounging around right now in your pajamas, you're late for work.
Hurry.
Yeah.
Hurry.
And the roads are fine here in Greenville. I just went out again, and it's cold out there and a little breezy right now, but it's overcast, and but you can tell it's not cold enough to cause any problems right now. Temperatures in the right about 38 right now. That's what I'm thinking.
That's right. And the breeze is actually helping prevent fog, which was an early morning problem. So that's even helping us a little bit.
Representative Brian Brown will join us here in the studio this morning. A lot to talk about with the governor's announcement and the legislative announcement that the school teachers, the beginning school teachers, will get a raise. Get his reaction to the criticism of that plan. I'm still blown away by that. Hey, speaking of criticism, by the way, good morning, Heather King.
Hello.
And good morning, Trent McGee.
Good morning.
And good morning, Coach Carr, who's in the studio in there.
Good morning.
And Michael is in there doing TV this morning. Michael gave us the, yeah.
Get off my lawn.
Don't bother me. Get off my lawn. Luke DeCock, who is a commentator, one of the columnists in the News and Observer, really criticizing whoever made the decision. I don't know whether it was UNC Chapel Hill or the ACC or whoever it was, for waiting until 5:41 yesterday to call off the game between Duke and Carolina last night.
And the officials got involved as well. And Gary Parrish with CBS Sports came out with a report late, too, that the officials were saying, I don't think we should play this game. Now, that was not confirmed. That was what a source told him that. So,
well, the rules generally are if the players, the coaches, and the officials can get there, that the game should be played. But, you know, let's face it, the Duke-Carolina game is one of the big events that takes place in the state of North Carolina every year. And, you know, you think about people coming from all over the state who have tickets. I mean, you know, some people wait a lifetime to get a ticket to the Duke-Carolina game. And you wonder yesterday if people were already driving in to Chapel Hill trying to get there in this awful weather. When they called it off, they did not make the call. In fact, there were emails sent out yesterday. Of course, you know, we carry the Tar Heel Sports Network on two of our stations here in Eastern North Carolina. We carry the Duke Network here on 103.7. And there were emails about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon saying the game is on. It's going to be played. Now, these were emails to the radio station saying, you know, have your personnel ready. You know, we're going to do the games will go on tonight, so you need to staff your stations to make sure you're covering the game, which we had done here. And then let's see, as Luke says in his column in the News Observer this morning, he says at 2 p.m., the Chapel Hill Police Department announced pretty much every major road in town is gridlocked. At 3:45, North Carolina sent out a release reaffirming that the game would be played. So as late as 3:45, the university was still saying, we're going to play the game.
well,
now, you wonder how much of this was ESPN. ESPN
Sure. Yeah.
has this game scheduled at 9 p.m. for a national telecast, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You have to wonder how much that played into it, which they, of course, had to have some influence on that, and did.
Was the Duke team having trouble getting down 15-501?
Duke was not going to leave Durham until 6 o'clock. That was their plan.
Well, that's crazy.
They were going to leave at 6, but then the bus couldn't even – it was determined that they couldn't make it onto North Carolina's campus. So they just couldn't do it.
Well, apparently all the roads were blocked. The Duke – look, I was watching something this morning that said that the snow plows were getting blocked because the roads were so jammed. The snow plows couldn't do anything in Raleigh yesterday.
Yeah, people are
The
parked.
snow plows were just kind of hung up in the traffic. And so, Crazy stuff.
And
So-
now those two teams will play 4 times in an 8-day stretch. It's pretty unbelievable.
That's great.
So Luke says this morning in this morning's News Observer, right about the time the sleet started coming down in Durham and coming down hard, common sense prevailed. Wednesday's Duke North Carolina game finally was postponed at 5:41 p.m., less than 4 hours before tip-off, when the Blue Devils bus could not make it to campus, let alone Chapel Hill. If that's what it took to pull the plug, fine. It was insane. The game was a visible concern for that long. It should have been postponed hours earlier. When a school tells its own fans not to come, the announcement from Carolina was people with tickets to this evening's games are encouraged to stay off the roads. That was the official North Carolina position. Surely that's a good indicator it's not the best idea in the world to play a basketball game in those conditions. There was no legitimate reason to send a single person, fan, game staffer, team into this weather and this traffic on this night, even if that meant ESPN's 9 p.m. time slot went unfilled. There needs to be a rule about that. You know, this idea, and, you know, they've always said if the players can get there, if the coaches can get there, if the officials can get there, they're going to play. But, you know, he makes a good point. You're talking about an arena that holds 22,000 people or whatever. Think about the staff that had to get over there. It was their job to be there and that kind of stuff. You know, just getting there was a chore because the whole Triangle area was total gridlock yesterday.
And you have to imagine some of that staff was there well in advance before that 5:41 calling, and then they probably couldn't get home. They were probably stuck there, at least for a while.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Did that ever happen to you, where a game had to be canceled like that due to the weather? Or postponed?
When I was doing the radio?
Yeah.
I can't remember the 1800s.
Wait, did they have cars then?
Get the horse and buggy.
You know, I really honestly cannot remember that ever happening.
It's so rare.
But then again, we didn't have global warming then. So, I don't know.
But the TV networks didn't have as much influence then as they do now.
Yeah, probably not.
Did they?
Probably
Probably
not.
not.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I mean,
much of it.
ESPN owns college basketball, man. They whatever they want, they're going to get. They're not going to be told no. You can believe that.
That's where the
They had a
money
9
is.
o'clock primetime game last night. They had commercials sold. They had revenue in there.
Does anyone know what actually went on the air at 9 o'clock last night?
I think
on
they
ESPN?
actually had,
Was it the Westminster Dog Show?
yeah, something like that.
I have no idea.
You know, they probably had another game somewhere. They just,
Sure,
you know,
they
they
could
got
pop that feed in.
42 channels now. They just popped one of the other games on there. Something from the West Coast or something.
Something. There must be some. There's something happening somewhere.
Hey, how about this? Did you hear about this thing in Kentucky yesterday? This classic
Yes.
car museum. So this car, it's like a Corvette museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And they've got all these expensive, classic Corvette cars in there. And all of a sudden, the ground underneath the museum gives way, and there's this huge sinkhole, and all the cars go down into this hole. That is, have you ever heard of anything like that before?
What are the chances that a sinkhole would open up right there under priceless, if not expensive, cars? I mean,
Maybe it was a
Bowling
terrorist
Green,
attack.
Kentucky, and Bowling Green. I mean, Kentucky's not a hot spot for sinkholes. I mean, Florida.
Yeah, we've been
is,
hearing sinkholes in Florida.
but not Kentucky.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the more people might go visit it now because now they know there's a National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
It's pretty wild, though.
Yeah.
Just if you watch the video, to watch the Corvettes.
There it was.
So there is video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, it shows it from different angles.
How was there video?
I think it looked
Inside,
like
the surveillance
surveillance,
cameras.
like,
No
security
kidding. I
cameras.
didn't know there was video.
Yeah.
Should have been watching our show this morning, Henry.
Oh, you had the
We
video
did,
this morning?
Yeah, we did. It's pretty wild to watch because it's just like, there it goes, and there it went.
So they all know. So all the cars go nose down into this sinkhole.
Yeah. Look, you can see that picture right there. That pretty much shows it.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
You can find pictures of this online this
40
morning.
feet across, 30 feet deep.
That is
Amazing.
unbelievable.
Of all
So
places.
6 of the cars were owned by the museum. 2 were on loan from General Motors. All kinds of different classic Corvettes. that went all the way back, older cars. Some of them weren't as old, but they were classics and very expensive cars. Some had been donated, through people's wills.
Yeah. Jim Howard said he felt a little nauseated watching that video, just all these beautiful, amazing cars trashed.
Isn't that something? Wow. All right, it's 14 after 8. Representative Brian Brown is going to be here to talk about several things this morning. The election's coming. The primary will be in May. There is rumors that he will have a primary competitor, although there has not been anyone file against him to run in the primary yet. But there are rumors that that's going to happen. And, of course, there's one Democrat in the race, and so we'll talk to him about the election coming up. But then the main thing, of course, is what's happened this week with the school teacher salary announcement on Monday morning with Governor McCrory and Phil Berger and Tom Tillis. And, get his feeling about this, and is the legislature all on board with this, and how much did the rank and file members of the legislature know about this, and what he thinks is going to happen with other school teachers' salaries when we get back to session in May. So stand by. That's coming up. Also, a lot more this morning. We got McGee with sports and Heather King with news headlines. In fact, we'll get to that when we return. 16 minutes after 8 o'clock here on Thursday morning. We'll be right back.
HomeFest 14 is coming up on March 1st at the Greenville Convention Center from 9 to 5. We have a new store in Greenville, and they're going to be at the Convention Center that day. This is Rob with Spine in Motion. So, Rob, I know you're excited to come out to the HomeFest and show everybody all the products at Spine in Motion. What will you guys be carrying at the show?
In the Spine in Motion booth, we're going to have inversion tables, massage chairs. I'm going to have zero-gravity recliners. I'm going to bring out some contour pillows, foam rollers, a lot of the smaller items that we carry just for general back and neck health.
So anybody that comes to your booth would be able to purchase some of these items as well as try them out and hopefully get some back pain relief that a lot of people have to deal with every single day. So come out to the HomeFest March 1st to look at the products that you can find at Spine in Motion. HomeFest 14 is coming up on March 1st at the Convention Center from 9 to 5. Charles Tudor, General Manager of Ferguson's, who's been in the show several years, is here today to tell us what you can see at HomeFest 14th. First of all, Charles, what do people shop for at Ferguson's?
We have a showroom there that displays our plumbing, lighting, and appliances. And if you're a homeowner or a builder and you're in the process of building or remodeling a house, you can come in and make decisions about the various plumbing, lighting, and appliances you might need for your new home.
And at HomeFest 14th, I'm assuming you're going to have a lot of those products out there. Absolutely,
yes. We're going to have some of the products on display, literature, and some of our associates there to answer and greet customers.
So come out to HomeFest 14th on March 1st from 9 to 5 at the Greenville Convention Center and see Ferguson's and many other businesses.
Unlock the best life has to offer for generations to come. Introducing the Legacy Membership exclusively at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. As a Legacy member, you'll not only enjoy all the benefits of an active, family-friendly lifestyle, your children and grandchildren will enjoy membership status as well. Belonging to Ironwood is remarkable. Sharing it with your entire family is even better. Become a Legacy member today, only at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Golf at its finest, life at its fullest.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. All righty, it's 19 minutes after 8 o'clock. Talk of the Town here on Thursday morning, and the weather is going to get better tomorrow. Sunshine in the forecast for the next couple of days, but we got to get through today first. We'll give you the full forecast in a moment, but first, let's go to the news desk now. And Heather King here from WITN with the very latest here. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, Henry. The weather picture is improving greatly. We do have some school systems fully closed today. Many more are on a delay. And if you're curious about those are up to date right now at WITN.com. Schools in the Triangle, though, definitely closed today after one of the worst winter weather events for that area in years. People abandoned their cars on Raleigh and Durham highways. A la Atlanta style Wednesday. The highest snow totals there measured 7 inches. Topped with ice, they could get more snow there this afternoon before warming up. Story we're working on this morning is an overnight shooting in Pamlico County. Lawmen are searching for 2 suspects. 1 man is dead. Authorities in Pamlico County say the shooting happened on a boat ramp at Lee Landing Road in Reelsboro. The name of the person killed has not been released. Lawmen also have not released a description of the suspects in the case, but they do tell us the SBI has been called in to assist. An ECU football player remains in critical condition after a car crash that injured a fellow player. Terrell Stanley, a defensive end, a rising junior at ECU, is still critical. According to a Vidant spokesperson early this morning, he, along with Ike Harris, were injured when a car that Stanley was driving crashed on an embankment on Greenville Boulevard early Wednesday. Athletics office says the two were on their way to strength and conditioning practice at the time, and Greenville police do confirm that crash weather-related. All the snow and ice the past few days took a toll on the awning outside the James and Connie Maynard Children's Hospital at Vidant Medical Center in Greenville. That canopy tore and then collapsed last night. No one was injured, thankfully, and crews were working to clean it up overnight. And finally this morning, funeral arrangements have now been announced for a local teacher who was killed in a car crash last week. Patricia McLaughlin of Winterville was 38 years old. She was a wife and a mother of 2. She was a teacher at West Green Elementary School and was killed in a single car crash near Snow Hill on Friday evening. Her memorial service is now set for Saturday at 6 p.m. at Open Door Ministries in Winterville. Just some of the stories we're following today on WITN. Henry, back to you.
Thank you, Heather. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Great
Be
to be
careful
here.
out there.
It's good out there now.
See you on the TV tomorrow morning again.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. You're back on at 5, right?
Yeah, I come on at 5. Carly's on at 4:30.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Early. I feel bad. It's early.
Well, if you feel that bad, you could just volunteer to come in and do that.
I mean, I'm there. I did it the last couple of days because Carly, again, was short straw out on the road in the cold. I've said too much.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow on TV.
Bye-bye.
8:22. Let's check weather now, and what exactly is next on the weather list? Here's McGee.
There's some sunshine coming up the next couple of days here and there, but for today, we'll see cloudy skies with showers possible. Highs near 40 degrees for tonight, becoming partly cloudy later with the chance of some light flurries, I should say, but ending by midnight, lows in the upper 20s. Sunshine back in the forecast for Friday, with the exception of a few afternoon clouds, a high near 50 degrees. A few rain showers developing for Friday night, lows in the upper 30s. And for Saturday, morning clouds, but the afternoon sunshine will pop out with highs in the mid-40s and lows in the upper 20s.
All right, very good. 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. You know, it's funny. Ask Brian Brown about this when he gets on as well. Interesting story. You know, Kay Hagan and some of the folks have been screaming about the fact that Tom Tillis has been getting help from outside groups like Americans for Prosperity. Have you seen this, Brian? Well, as it turns out, and you know, they've made comments about how they cannot believe that, that they're, Americans for Prosperity. Here's a group that doesn't have to disclose its donors and bashing all this special interest money. This is amazing. So the answer to that is that they've taken special interest money themselves. Kay Hagan has taken special interest money and created a television ad that she's going to run about Tom Tillis taking special interest money. You can't make it up. I'm going to change the name of this show to "You Can't Make It Up." So there's a new group. There's a new group that's unleashing a new TV ad, and it attacks Tom Tillis. So I guess Tom Tillis, I guess, is the de facto candidate. Sorry for all you Greg Brannon fans who have been saying that Greg Brannon is going to beat Tom Tillis. Apparently the Democrats have some research that don't think that, because now this group called Patriot Majority USA, a group that does not disclose its donors, is spending $500,000 over the next 8 days running TV ads portraying Tom Tillis as a guy who takes special interest money and works for the special interest. Can you imagine the next Tom Tillis ad that comes out? I mean, is that the epitome of hypocrisy? She's running an ad accusing Tom Tillis of taking special interest money, and the ad is paid with special interest money. I mean, I guess what they're going to come back and say is, yes, but the people who donated to our special interest campaign are more noble than those Republicans.
See what happened? What happened was,
because they want Ben Chavis to be the executive director of the Democratic Party. Holy moly! If you don't believe me, there's an article in the Old Reliable this morning, the News and Instigator. And so Tom Tillis, campaign spokesman Jordan Shaw, already releasing a statement on this new TV campaign saying, while Kay Hagan denounces the use of outside funds against her, liberals in D.C. are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars falsely attacking Tom Tillis. Where is Kay Hagan's statement condemning these ads? Liberals in D.C. know that Tom Tillis is the candidate to beat Kay Hagan, so they're trying to use the same tired scare tactics to save Kay Hagan's rubber stamp for the Obama agenda. So, campaign season is here. It's on like Donkey Kong. Speaking of that, Brian Brown will join us right after this. 26 after 8 o'clock. Local state representative from the House of Representatives for District 9, Representative Brian Brown, live in the studio. Next, we'll be right back.
HomeFest 14 is coming up on March 1st at the Greenville Convention Center from 9 to 5. Last year, Aspen Tops was part of the show, and they're coming back this year. Plus, they're one of our Dream Kitchen giveaway sponsors for the granite or marble countertops. So, Rodney and Jenny are here, and they're going to tell us what you can see at their booth at HomeFest 14. Hi, guys.
Hey. We fabricate and install granite, quartz, and marble countertops, and at our booth we'll have samples of our material, the different colors, and we'll have displays there and photos of previous jobs we've done. And if you'd like to bring your floor plan in or your cabinet layout, we can do a quick quote for you while you walk around. And just looking forward to being there.
Stop by the Aspen Tops booth at HomeFest 14 on March 1st from 9 to 5.
Welcome to Truck Month at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lease the new 2014 Ram 1500 for just $199 a month. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage Company will deliver a storage unit to your home or business today. Stallings Storage is the only local company providing mobile storage units 8x15 or 8x10. Delivered to your site. If you are remodeling your home or office or need to store merchandise and inventory at your business, you need to call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage. We deliver, pick up, and store it for you. It's that easy, and there's no need to send your business out of town when your mobile storage needs can be met right here with people you know. Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage is located in Pitt County on Beast Oaks Road. It's a well-secured facility with a live-in manager. Fixed units range from 5 feet by 10 feet to 40 feet by 40 feet. We store boats, cars, anything you need. We are pirate supporting pirates. Call Stallings Mobile and Mini Storage today at 321-2300. That's 321-2300.
When you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco. No matter where you go in Eastern Carolina, there's sure to be an attractive and always clean Trade Wilco Hess station nearby. For the absolute lowest prices on gas, groceries, and travel necessities, stop at any of the Trade Wilco Hess stations throughout Eastern Carolina. Keep your eyes on the road, but remember to look for the green and white Hess sign. The best part? No one supports the ECU Pirates more. So when you're on the go, it's Trade Wilco.
Come see Eastern North Carolina's largest selection of Jeeps here at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Drive the all-new 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee for just $349 a month. East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep, across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
$8:30 here on Thursday morning. It is the 20th day of February. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Our guest this morning here live in the studio is State Representative Brian Brown from House District 9 here in Pitt County. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
How are the roads coming in when you came in?
Perfect. Well,
Yeah.
we don't want to say perfect. You never know what's out there, but they were pretty smooth coming in, though.
Yeah.
Just wet.
Yeah. It's been a big week.
It has been.
You guys are already back at work doing committee meetings and stuff like that anyway, right? I mean, you've been...
I don't know that we ever left.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Has it been ongoing since the legislative session ended last year?
It really has. You really kind of roll right into interim committees and things get fired up and you start moving. We really kind of had all of December off, not meeting in committees. Other than that, it's been, 100%. So...
and I know that there was a DHHS hearing this week.
It was.
The Oversight Committee still trying to get to the bottom of the problems at DHHS. Mm-hmm. You're not on that one, right?
I'm not, but as often as I can get there and sit in on it, I certainly do. Wasn't able to meet this week's meeting, but yeah, we try to be as involved as possible.
The big news, of course, is the announcement made on Monday by all three of the top state leaders. Your boss, Tom Tillis. Mm-hmm. I guess he's not really your boss, is he? He's your leader.
We all represent a little over 80,000 people.
He's your leader.
So, yes.
And, of course, he is the Speaker of the House. And Phil Berger, who is the President of the Senate, and Governor McCrory. And on Monday morning in Jamestown, just outside Greensboro, they announced a new plan to raise starting school teacher pay. We need to stop saying it's starting school teacher pay because, as I've learned, it's actually all school teachers that have started in the last few years making less than the new minimum.
Right.
That's what it's going to be. And it's going to be raised up to about 14%, a little less than 14% over the next 2 years. And of course, that's really something to celebrate.
It is very,
and yet
very
it's been met with a lot of spin from the left and from some of the older teachers saying, this is unfair to us to raise the younger school teachers' pay in spite of the fact that they're all making probably 30, 40, 50% more than the young school teachers. So what's your take on it?
Well, I think it's unfortunate that these type of things get politicized. You got to love politics, right? But the reality is you have less than 30% of our teachers that have been in the system for more than 20 years. The majority of them sit between 1 and 10, and we're losing the majority of our teachers between years 1 and 5. This is the doorstep of how we change the conversation in North Carolina as it pertains to teacher pay and teacher effectiveness. And it was the first step. And that's what people need to understand is this is the first rollout of what we are going to do as a General Assembly to change teacher pay in the state of North Carolina and state employee pay in the state of North Carolina.
I've been talking about this all week, and I just, people know where I stand politically, so they think I'm spinning. But I just absolutely think it's unconscionable that people would come out and speak out against this, especially the Democrats and the people on the left who are complaining about this and expected the Republicans to fix all the problems with public education in 12 months that they were handed by Democrats.
That's right. And we're doing our best to try to do that. I mean, look, this Republican-led General Assembly spent more on education than any Democrat-led General Assembly has in the history of North Carolina. We have fundamentally looked to try to change and give teachers pay raises that the Democrats put them on freezes on. That our friends across the aisle have effectively stopped the progression of teacher pay in the state of North Carolina. We're addressing it for the first time. It's going to take some time, and we keep having surprises and things like Medicaid. Look, we wanted to do this in the long session. But because of surprises like Medicaid overruns, we weren't able to do it. Now we've been able to change that conversation. We've been able to try to address those issues, and now we can look to address the important issues of things like teacher pay and state employee raises.
All right, talk to the teachers in Eastern North Carolina that are not starting teachers, that are not going to be affected by this plan that was announced on Monday. What do you say to them? Is there going to be something in this upcoming budget for them?
There will be. We will be giving veteran teachers a raise. The question is going to be how much of a raise we're going to be able to give them. That's really what we're going to need to determine, where the revenues are going to come in, and to ensure that there's no future Medicaid overruns here in the coming weeks that we're going to be unaware of. Those are the things that we're really watching right now so that we can really provide a budget that's strong and something that we can do really good for those veteran teachers. They deserve it. They need it. This is, again, this first rollout was step one. There's going to be step 2 and 3. And rest assured as well, Henry, we're not just looking at how we do something today for these teachers. There's conversations on both the House and the Senate side of how we fundamentally change teacher pay in the state of North Carolina for the long term. How we look at getting teachers out of this really long 37-step pay plan and get them to a higher salary level quicker. So there's a lot of things that's going on right now in state government to really address these issues, and we're very excited about it. And there's a lot of folks that's on board for it. So it's going to be good.
Was it a mistake, a political mistake, to deal with things like teacher tenure and I'm trying to, I don't like to use the word vouchers. I'm trying to, the opportunity scholarships and things that were done last year. And did that set the tone that is given teachers and people that are public education advocates on the left? All those things were a priority last year. They got done. Teacher raises did not get done. Is that why they're so worried and upset with you guys?
Well, I think it's easy to spin those conversations, but whether it's politically savory or not, it's the right thing to do. When you look at the voucher program that I was intimately involved in, it's about parent choice. It's about student outcome. Okay, this isn't about trying to run down public education. The statistics show us that the majority of students are going to still choose the public education. So how do we work hand in hand with allowing parents the choice to put their children where they feel they're going to be in the best situation, but also make a robust public school system? That's what we're trying to work with. And it's unfortunate the political spin goes that direction, but that's what we're dealing with. And those are the things we're going to continue to push on. Look, the opportunity scholarships, they're going to provide a net savings to the state of North Carolina in terms of putting money back into public school systems. So we're excited about what the outcomes are going to be from the opportunity scholarships. And from the tenure perspective, I think it was the right thing to do. I think when we look at really trying to create effective teachers, trying to create a more effective leadership structure within our school systems, this is the first step. And the bottom line is good teachers, they don't need to worry about whether they have tenure or they don't have tenure.
I agree. I'll tell you, the idea that people should get tenure and have some protection from not doing a good job. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not the only reason for tenure, but that's the way a lot of teachers have used it.
That's right.
And it's kept us from being able to better public education. You hear the good teachers saying, we agree with this.
Right.
I mean, they've called in this show over and over again saying, you know what, we don't care about tenure. We're not worried about losing our job. Mm-hmm. So
no, they're worried about things they should be worried about. The good teachers are. They're worried about how do we become more competitive nationally with our teacher pay? How do we get more resources into the classroom? How do we provide textbooks for our kids? Those are the things the good teachers want to talk about when we go across the state and we talk to those good teachers. And that's the conversations we should be having.
Back to the Monday press conference, when you see the governor, the president of the Senate, and the Speaker of the House, all three stand up and say this is going to happen, usually this is going to happen.
Yes.
But I want, it has to go through the legislature. So let me ask you this. How much involvement did the rank and file members of the General Assembly have in crafting this or having input into it?
We had a lot of input into it. There's several members on both House and Senate side, as well as in the governor's office, that's working on various education plans, how to change teacher pay, how to change kind of those types of structures. And it was a collaborative effort to try to figure out what we want to do from a step 1, step 2. And rest assured, we have a pretty good idea what else we want to roll out. Again, it's waiting to make sure that the numbers will work out for us to ensure that we can come out again aligned with both chambers and the governor's office to make those announcements.
Well, God bless you. It's a great plan, and I'm really
so, too.
excited about it, and I think it's going to really get us going in the right direction again with public education, which, good Lord, we need in this state.
We do. We certainly do.
Representative Brian Brown, the guest here in the studio this morning. Let's talk about the upcoming legislative session. First of all, you have not filed to run for your second term. But I did see you put out a press release yesterday that you've announced you're going to file. Filing ends on Friday, I believe, or next Friday?
The 28th.
The 20th. So you've got more time, but are you intending to refile for re-election?
Absolutely. You know, in this job, you kind of have to take the things that make you smile, right? And we filed last year on Valentine's Day, and we keep laughing that it's the gift that keeps on giving to my wife, Rochelle. So just with keeping with tradition, we're going to file again on Valentine's Day as another gift to her.
So you're filing tomorrow?
So we're going to file tomorrow at 11 a.m. We'll go down there and make that filing and do it as a family. And stand up again.
So 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, is some of your supporters coming down to?
Anybody that wants to come down certainly can.
You're not making an event, but if they want to come.
It'll be a family event for sure. We'll all go down there together and stand together. Right. So it'll be fun.
Let's talk about the upcoming legislative session that begins in May. This is a short session, and the word on the street is it's going to be a very short session. Mm-hmm. Tom Tillis is running for United States Senate. He's going to be presiding over the House. Phil Berger's son is running for Congress in the Greensboro area. And, of course, he has to run. All of the legislature has to go back home and campaign. So I'm assuming this is going to be a very short session. So what's on your agenda? I've asked the governor, I've asked Tom Tillis this, what's on your agenda for this session? Do you have anything that you want to try to get passed that will affect the local area?
You know, one of the things we're really looking at right now is looking at the Southwest Bypass here in Greenville and how we expedite that program with the new transportation formula that's been rolled out. You know, there's some concern of whether that will get built in a timely manner. So, you know, many blessings to the local leaders here, the local mayors who have kind of created a consortium to really look at this issue and go out and lead the way in looking at how we try to, expedite this funding process and working with DOT to get those things done. Looks like we might have to have some legislative action to ensure that happens, but we feel confident that we can do that, and we have buy-in from transportation chairs that we can make this work as well. And what we really hope is that it'll be a model for North Carolina to use and to implement across the state to get some of these transportation projects that might not necessarily fit into the high priority categories across the state, but are extraordinarily high priority items for areas like Greenville, Pitt County, and what we call the Quad East, right? So we're excited about that. Other than that, I think the short session is going to be extremely short. We always have to re-campaign during short session. We know that. I think it's more along the lines of we want to try to get in and get out and not cost the taxpayers any more money sitting in our seats.
Any predictions?
I think we'll do some tweaks to the tax reform package. I think we're obviously going to tackle the education things, not just teacher salary and things like that, but I think there's some concern with testing, frequency, and how we go back and implement those things correctly. There's some things we want to look at again with digital textbooks and how we fund those and get those things into the classrooms, the infrastructure to support those items. So I think some of those really key measures that we passed in the long session that just needs a little bit of tweaking now that there's been some implementation.
You going to be done by 4th of July?
Oh, I don't. You know what? You hear some of the leadership talk, and we say 4 or 5 weeks. But you never know when you get in there and you start to really dig into some of these things. It can go longer, or hopefully we'll be able to get it done quick.
My guess is you'll be done before the 4th of July.
It would be nice. It would be nice. It would be nice for the taxpayers too.
Yeah, it certainly would. All right. Let's see. How about other issues? Last year, some real issues, some changes in the way funding is allowed for medical schools really affected the ECU Brody School of Medicine. And I gotta say, you dug in and took on some pretty powerful players in Raleigh on this thing that were upset. I've always said East Carolina becomes collateral damage in these kind of fights. And without going into long detail, we've talked about it on the show. It had a lot to do with the people who were upset that the University of North Carolina bought Rex Hospital in Raleigh and started competing with Wake Medical Center. Mm-hmm. And the legislature was some people in the legislature were hell bent on changing some of the rules to try to keep it a level playing field. so that a state hospital didn't have an advantage over a private hospital. East Carolina got caught in the crossfire on that.
Boy, did we.
And you really went to battle with some pretty strong players in Raleigh. And, frankly, we lost a lot of funding last year because we could not get that message across. Where does that stand now, and is that going to be part of what you're working on this year?
We're working on it, absolutely. It's been fun to work on. It's gotten to the point now where people see me walking down the hallways. We get it, Sodka, UPL, we get it. Stop talking about it. We get it.
Yeah, people who didn't know what Sodka and UPL were a year ago, they know now. Right? Yeah.
But not only do they know now, they know about ECU now. And they know that we don't own our hospital. They know about the rural component that makes up East Carolina University and the medical school and how that impacts us. We were able to retain some of the funding. We didn't lose everything that we thought we were going to lose here for East Carolina, but there's still so much we have to do. And we have full leadership commitment that we're going to go back, revisit the Sodka component as an example, and try to get that accomplished. And it seems as though the Senate counterparts over there, who were the stalemates on this, and I make no mistakes about saying that, and they understand that. They've become more willing to listen and understand what makes up East Carolina University and how important these two topics are. So I'm very optimistic that we're going to get some movement here in the short session. I don't think we'll get as far as we want to get, which means even more importance to walk into the ballot box, re-elect me so I can go back and keep fighting for these things for East Carolina and make sure that in a long session we get these things completely finalized and bring our funding back home.
Well, have you moved into the campaign stage of this interview now?
Let's go.
All right, well, let's talk about that because, we're hearing that it hadn't been filed yet, but we're hearing that you're going to have a primary opponent, another Republican that's going to run against you. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I think that's a part of our system. If folks feel as though they would like to see something different, they'd like to see a change, they certainly have that ability to file and run against us. I stand behind my record. I stand behind the things that I did to fight for the Walter B. Jones Center. I stand behind what I did to fight for East Carolina University, taking on the contentious issue of reducing the size of our school board here locally, and then big issues like giving parents choice in public schools and private schools, and to be able to do things like regulatory reform for businesses, stand behind the tax reform package that's putting more money in the pockets of individuals throughout the state and being an easier road for businesses to deal with. Those are the things we'll continue to stand behind and work towards. And there's great things ahead for North Carolina. I look forward to hopefully going back and representing the people of Pitt County and continuing to be a strong voice and hopefully maybe even take on a leadership role so that we even have a stronger voice in Raleigh in the coming years to be able to manage the things that need to be managed here in the eastern part of the state and not just be great for Pitt County, but be a leader in the region and be good neighbors.
Brian Brown from House District 9 in the North Carolina legislature. How's it going to be having the Speaker of the House running a United States Senate campaign and running a legislative session at the same time? You think that's going to be is that going to affect you or the House or the General Assembly as a whole in any way?
It's funny. You mentioned earlier today, and you mentioned it a minute ago about rank and file members. What's great about Republicans, and just as though you have a primary opponent, there's not very many rank and file members in the Republican Party. Everybody has their own ideas, and everybody works hard to try to achieve what they want to achieve. And what's great about Speaker Tillis is that he listens to all his members. And it's not Speaker Tillis's legislative agenda. It truly is his members' legislative agenda. And I commend him for that. And, that's one of the biggest reasons why I am a huge Tom Tillis fan is because he truly is a great leader. Listens to his members, tries to enact the legislation that he feels his members really want, need, not only for their local constituents but statewide. So I think it's going to be a great short session.
You were on with Terry Williams and Michael Overton last night on Greenville Grit, and unfortunately, I was sitting down getting ready to watch it, and I got a phone call. So I have not had a chance. I had it on, but I didn't get a chance to hear the interview. The good news is, starting this week, we're replaying Greenville Grit at 6:30 on Friday night and then 9:30 on Saturday morning. We think that show is so important with local Greenville issues that it's important enough to replay that. So the original airing will still be at 6:30 on Wednesday night, then 6:30 on Friday night and 9:30 on Saturday morning. So I'll catch the replay. But one of the things I know that they were scheduled to talk to you about was Common Core. Mm-hmm. And, we've had Becky Taylor from the Board of Education on. We've had the folks in Washington who are the Republican group that's pushing, saying people are too upset about Common Core because they don't understand it. Where are you on Common Core in the public schools?
At this point, no support for Common Core. And it's very simple for me. There is a difference between standards and curriculum, and that's what we do need to differentiate between Common Core and the curriculum side of it. But what the problem is that we should all want higher standards for our kids. There's no doubt about that, and we should be pushing that. The issue that I have surrounding Common Core currently is that this is nothing more than the Affordable Care Act for North Carolina. Back in 2010, in order to receive Race to the Top dollars, we passed a bill that we didn't know what was in it. And that's just fundamentally not right. So you have a bill, you have a piece of education policy out there that's never been field tested, that we didn't roll out the proper resources with, that now has curriculum that is trying to be implemented to achieve these standards that are highly questionable across the board. Questionable for parents, questionable for teachers to be able to teach. So these are the things that the General Assembly is looking at right now with the Common Core study. They're doing a great job asking the tough questions. So we'll really see what kind of comes out of that Common Core study. And then as Vice Chair of the Education Committee, it'll be our job to look at what the study has found and make any changes that we'd like to make to the Common Core. Common Core has become such a toxic word. There are states that are even changing just the branding.
I think they need to change the word. They change the phrase.
That's right. So I mean, there's a lot of concern surrounding it.
But right now, as it stands today, you cannot support Common Core in its present form.
That's right. That's right.
Interesting. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Brian Brown filing for re-election tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock here at the Pitt County Board of Elections for House District 9. All right, we'll take a break and come back. It's 10 minutes now in front of 9 o'clock. McGee's got sports coming up next.
Home Fest 14 is coming up on March 1st at the Greenville Convention Center, and we have Don, who's with U.S. Home Exteriors, who was also in the show last year. So, Don, tell us what you can, those that are coming to the show can see at U.S. Home Exteriors booth.
Oh boy, we're going to have some great windows to show people, and an energy blanket that they can put in their attic that will guarantee you'll save them 25% on their heating and cooling bills. And we're celebrating our 10th year in business, first full year here in Eastern North Carolina, so we're going to have some really great specials going on.
Well, it was a big show last year, so we hope a lot of people will come out again and go to the booth at U.S. Home Exteriors. So come out on March 1st. You can see Don with U.S. Home Exteriors and their staff that they'll have there. So see you on March 1st at the Greenville Convention Center.
Tax time is new car time at Greenville Toyota. Bring us your tax refund and we'll match your refund up to $4,000 towards a new Toyota. That's right, if you've got a refund, you've got a down payment and we'll match it up to $4,000. Your $4,000 becomes $8,000 with the Greenville Toyota match. Need credit? Come see us. Our goal is 100% credit approval. And who will give you more for your trade? Guaranteed? Greenville Toyota. Plus, with the Greenville Toyota Advantage, you save money and time. Use your tax refund as your down payment because tax time is new car time at Greenville Toyota.
Unlock the best life has to offer for generations to come. Introducing the Legacy Membership exclusively at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. As a Legacy member, you'll not only enjoy all the benefits of an active, family-friendly lifestyle, your children and grandchildren will enjoy membership status as well. Belonging to Ironwood is remarkable. Sharing it with your entire family is even better. Become a Legacy member today, only at Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Golf at its finest, life at its fullest.
Join the Pirates this season as baseball and softball swing for the fences in their last CUSA season. An action-packed baseball season ticket starts at $100 and features Ohio State plus in-state rivals NC State and North Carolina. Your $30 softball season ticket includes 7 series and is the best deal in town. Order your season ticket today by calling 800-DIAL-ECU or visit ECUPirates.com. Join us at the ballpark this spring at ECU.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we are empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
7 minutes in front of 9 o'clock. Talk of the Town here on Thursday morning, and it is going to be a good day. We may get a few more flurries later this afternoon, but looks like all the heavy stuff is gone for now, and that's a good thing. And then the warm temperatures coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be sunny and 50, which we are really looking forward to. Let's check some sports now. Here's McGee with our 103.7 WTIB Sports Update.
College basketball from Wednesday night. Syracuse freshman Tyler Ennis made a 35-footer at the buzzer, and number one Syracuse remained undefeated, now 24-0 with a 58-56 win over number 25 Pitt. Syracuse joins Wichita State as the only undefeated teams now, or those are, I should say, the two undefeated teams left in Division I college basketball. The Pirates on the road tonight taking on Tulsa. ECU looking for win number 3 in Conference USA. Tulsa 6-3 in league play, 11-12 overall. Terrell Stanley and Ike Harris, two ECU football players who were involved in a car accident Wednesday morning, both taken to Vidant Medical Center after that accident. Harris was treated and released. Stanley's injury is a little more severe. He remains in critical condition, but word is he is improving, which is a very good sign. Longtime Yankee great Derek Jeter announcing that 2014 will be his last season in a Yankee uniform. He's a 13-time All-Star who led the Yankees to 5 World Series championships. And a U.S. Winter Olympics update. The U.S. swept the ski slope style, helping the U.S. now to 12 medals, one behind the Netherlands, who have 13, and sweep in the ski slope style. 1, 2, 3, gold, silver, bronze for the U.S. That was a good sweep.
So how about the two-man luge? How are we doing that?
Yeah, pretty good.
Two-man luge.
Boy, the guy, I tell you what, they really they hit the curves well. Hit the curves well in that luge.
Here's Jimmy Kimmel last night. Here's Jimmy Kimmel last night talking about the two-man luge.
Some of the Olympic lugers do not like it. They don't appreciate their sport being depicted as gay, even though it very clearly is. I mean, it's... But how do you not make fun of a sport that is essentially high-velocity spooning? I mean, that's... One American luger, a guy named Matthew Mortensen, even called me out personally. He said, for some reason, whether it's Jimmy Kimmel or Conan O'Brien or anyone, doubles luge is always the target. It's never about football players taking a snap or whatever. And I think that's unfair. I make immature gay jokes about athletes almost every night on this show, so I take offense to that statement. And you say the jokes are never about football? Well, let's set the Jimmy Kimmel Live time machine back to this Monday night. Here's the thing. Football is a sport in which men in very tight pants run around piling on top of each other. I think football players should have to come out as straight. Apology accepted, Matthew Mortensen, you loser.
You loser. All right, that's going to do it for us today. We are done, and we hope that you will enjoy the first part of the day where we're not going to have any precipitation, although that's not necessarily true. The flurries could start late afternoon today. I don't think we're going to have anything significant today. And then, of course, tonight, more snow flurries possible. Overnight low is going to be about 27. But the high today, 40. So I don't think we're going to have anything that's anything to write home about. Tomorrow, sunshine and 50. And then on Saturday, we're going to have temperatures in the mid-40s. That's Talk of the Town Thursday. Everybody enjoy this heat wave that we're having, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Many people in eastern North Carolina suffer from diabetes. The question is, can the disease be managed before it causes harm? Are there lifestyle changes that can help prevent it in the first place? And can a health system really make a difference? At Vidant Health, we're empowering people with tools and resources to detect and manage chronic disease. Can diabetes education and management help members of your family lead healthier lives? The answer is definitely yes.
Only the best music.
Here is a track from Out of Sight.
Sorry.
Oh, hey, and check out that new look from Pepsi.
I don't know why, but today I feel a little bit different. I feel like I woke up this morning and I could change the world. I could change the world. I guess it's true, yeah.
Having a vision of what really matters is how we succeed. Keeping an eye on the ball, seeing all the things that we need. Focusing on
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and workweek daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit topdogonline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
It's coming up on March 1st at the Greenville Convention Center from 9 to 5. Super excited about the show. One of the reasons is because Ferguson's is going to be there again, and Nancy Ann Beeman, who is a showroom consultant, is here to tell us what you can expect to see at the Ferguson booth at HomeFest 14. Hi, Nancy Ann.
Hey, we're really excited. We're going to have all kinds of things out, from all the greatest lighting looks to your kitchen accessories and kitchen faucets, sinks, all the way to your bathroom, anything you'd need to remodel your bathroom.
So building or remodeling, you can come to Ferguson's and get everything from start to finish of all the appliances, fixtures, and everything.
Yeah.
And you'll see a lot of that at the HomeFest, right?
Yeah, you can sit with us, and from your plumbing package to your lighting package to your appliance package, we help you from start to finish, or work with your contractor.
Great. Come out to HomeFest 14th to see Nancy Ann and everybody from Ferguson's at their booth at the HomeFest 14th on March 1st.